Hello guys, my name is Bawnzer and I will be bringing you today a commentary of me playing Anivia in a rank game that I just had a few days ago. I will be going up against Kassadin. Kassadin, as many of you know, is a counter to Anivia. I'm not saying that just because it's a counter is a problem, but usually Kassadin should win his lane against Anivia unless something goes wrong, which it does in this game on his part. Spoilers. No. I'm just giving a leash to my jungler, Nocturne, helping leashing at least before running into lane. My goal in this lane against the Kassadin is just to push my wave up to his tower, making him lose a lot of creep kills. And the way you do this, in my opinion, is to switch out your magic penetration runes with 80 runes, due to the fact that you will be able to last hit easier. You'll be able to harass him really hard. You see my auto attacks, they hit for quite some. Here comes the first gank of the game, and it works. I connected with my Q and I ignited, and 2 auto attacks and he's dead. My auto attacks hurts him so much. I have right now 68 at not attack damage. Yeah, sorry, 68 attack damage, and early game in mid where people hasn't gone for what's it called? People haven't gone for armor. You just shred the HP like nothing. I tend to go with 80 reds on Anivia in lanes that I think that my matchup in lanes where I think that my matchup isn't that great. I'm sorry. For example, against Kassadin, Akali, Fizz, Anivia, not Anivia. What's she called? Diana. Just due to the fact that even though you are CC'd with either a silence or so, you'll still be able to dish out some damage. You can see I just shred his HP. He just came back to lane. And I just made him almost have to back immediately. Here I won't burn my flash immediately due to the fact that I'm not certain that Shem will be able to bring me down, which he won't. So yeah, I'll just comfortably go back to base. Bye. I'll just speed this up. Some of you may have noticed that I derped out right from the start of the game. I didn't buy any items. My first bag was where I got my first item, which was a catalyst. The reason behind me going catalyst over a tier is simply due to the matchup. Being against the Kassadin, I really like the extra HP that catalyst gives, and also the effect that when you level up, you will get some HP, not XP. You'll get some HP back, which also helps you sustain a lane. You can also level bait, but that is kind of hard. It was a season 2 tactic. Here you see I have a lot of farm to get, and Kassadin is backing. If I am able to get most of this farm, I will just be way ahead of him in level when he comes back to the lane. I'm also items up on him, so when he comes back I know that I just have to play somewhat aggressive and I will be able to just dominate him. Right here I'm not just pushing aggressively up to my lane, up to his tower, simply due to the fact that when he comes back I would like him to be in the open where I am able, because he's not level 6 yet, so I will be able to just harass him down and he will not be able to jump away. When he's at tower he can do it relatively safe, and I would rather just like him being in the open where I can just dominate him even harder. The tactic that you push his, not his, my minions up to his tower is, I do this just because of Kassadin is a kind of a champion that loves to roam. You should roam as Kassadin if you get the chance, but if you roam whenever you have a lot of minions at your tower, you will lose a heck of a lot of HP. Okay, I switch around HP and XP. You will lose a lot of XP from not being able to farm those creeps. Here I just harass him. I take a couple of turret hits, but it's no big deal. I still have my X, so... whenever you push him up, you makes it so that if he goes roaming and he loses all of this farm, if he does not get a gank, a successful gank, he will just fall behind. Even though he gets an assist, he gets the XP, it's not enough. Here I saw that Kha'Zix has no mana, he burned his escapes, and we just cut him off. Easy kill. So yeah, this is just something that you'll learn. Have some map awareness. Good job by these guys to ping ferociously, making me aware of that Kha'Zix is around and able to be killed. Right now Kassadin is out of his lane, so I'm just pushing hard before I go back, making it so that he won't get any hits onto my tower, and also that I won't lose any minions to my own tower before I get back to lane. Another thing I like to do against Kassadin, or at least a kind of assassin mid, is I like to buy a Chalice of Harmony instead of a Tear. And this is because of the magic resistance it gives. Just the defensive stats from, you know, you get the HP from the Catalyst, you get the magic resistance from Chalice. It makes it so that assassins will have a really hard time killing you in lane, especially when you're just a level or two ahead, as I am right now. Just farming a bit, nothing interesting. Okay, great timing. I'll just back 15 seconds. Here I'm just watching bot because I see that they're about to get a kill, and I just walk right up to him, not seeing what I'm doing at all. At some point I noticed this, and yeah, as you can see, I simply just wreck him completely. Him standing on top of my ult, I think I might have stunned him inside my ult also, but I get my ult, E, I get my Q off, E again, and ignite, and 2 autos, and he's dead. That's basically the spell combo. If you can, you shouldn't land your E at first, you should land it whenever they have used their escapes. Just for, yeah, you know, you can dish out more damage if you do it this way compared to if you stun first and then they'll just run away after. This way you get 2 of your E's, and to those of you who doesn't know, Anivia's E is a spell that when an enemy is slowed, either from your Q or your ult, it will deal double damage, which makes it scale by, I think it scales by 60%, I think. No, it's not 60, 50%. But seeing it deals double damage whenever someone is frozen, that makes it a 1 scaling ability, which is pretty good. Actually, Anivia has more of these abilities. It's pretty strong. You can see her Flash Frost, which is a Q. It scales for I think it's 45% of her ability power. But seeing that it can go through people and then you can activate it to stun, and it deals the same amount of damage again, it is almost also a 1 ratio ability. Right here, just get a cheese pick. She had been bottom, killing. I think he killed Nocturne and Tristana, maybe. Yeah, I think so. And and I saw him because of the Warden, the Tri-Brush. I saw him just run up. Yeah, I knew that he won't go into our jungle due to the fact that he was low HP, so he should be counter jungling. And I expected him to come up through river. And I just ambushed him. Easy double boss for me. And actually, yeah, not the greatest play on his part. He should maybe have expected it, seeing I was not in my lane. But yeah, we all make mistakes, and this just helped me dominate my lane even harder. Our Nasus in top lane is not doing that great against Kha'Zix. He has picked it up now. He was somewhat of behind early game, and our Blitzcrank just nagged at him for not being able to farm as well as Kha'Zix. But what I saw was that their jungler had been top multiple times, tried to kill him, he got away every time. He had continued farming Kha'Zix because of the pressure that his jungler gave. Has just been ahead of him in farm through the entire game, but Nasus not dying, I think, is worth more than maybe feeding 1 or 2 or maybe 3 kills and just being up like maybe 20 farm or so. You usually tend to say that 1 champion kill, 1 neutral champion kill, which is 300 gold, 300 gold, is equivalent to about 20 CS, normal CS. And I should just move my mouse so it won't have this annoying text. Right now, Kassadin is just dominated so hard. I'm 4 levels above him. 3 levels now. And I'm just pushing my lane, making sure that he loses some CS under the tower. Shen is also 3 levels beneath me, so I'm not really afraid of him. Okay. As Anivia, you do not need help from your jungler whenever you have 2 items such as Catalyst, Tear, or a Catalyst Chalice. You'll be able, because of your wall, you will be able to solo the blue buff without getting any damage onto you at all. One of the great attributes to Anivia. Just recalling fast to buy. What I like to do on Anivia whenever I bought a Catalyst is to rush a Rod of Ages just to make it stack as fast as possible. It stacks over time, so the earlier you get it, the better. Here I see that Kha'Zix has burned his flash, so what I try to do, I hope he hasn't got a ward, I think he might be, be heading down to ward. I wall him off, because I know when he does, he will have to use his E. Whenever he uses his E, I know, because he hadn't gotten any flash anymore, I knew that he would have to sorry, I knew that because he jumped, he would just be out of any way to escape. So I was quite certain that I would kill him if I just flashed on top of him. I used my Q in front of him due to if he had run into it, he would have gotten stunned and died. Me throwing it in front of him also made it so that if he did not get stunned by it, he would be behind it, and that would also give me time to catch up to him, being able to apply Ignite, use my ult and auto tag a few times, being able to pick up the kill. Right here, I think this is one of my greedy moments. Yeah, I'm 4-0, and as you can see, I am just way ahead of everyone on the map. So I see Shen is low, I see Alistar coming in, and I expect Israel to come also, and they were behind me, so I thought, well, I might as well just go for Shen, see if I can pick up something before dying. Right here was actually quite certain that I would survive this and maybe get a kill or 2, but then Kassadin shows up, he recalled from jungle and yeah, came back, ulted over the wall, and we just died. Picked up 2 kills, and now Kassadin has 2 kills. Best play by us. And this is kinda sad. We actually baited Blitzcrank to die here. We asked him to push down mid lane in chat, and he's not able to get away. So now Kassadin has gotten 2 kills and 1 assist from like having nothing. It's not a problem to me because I am just so much ahead and I still have my egg, but it might be a problem to some of my other teammates. This just goes to show that you might lose your lane, you might lose in kills, in farm, towers, but from small situations like that, taking advantage of us being greedy just makes it so that it brings him somewhat back in the game. One thing is that I do not quite agree with what he bought against me. If I were him, I wouldn't have bought a tier simply due to the fact that I just outdamaged him so heavily. I would have bought a catalyst instead, just going the build that I did early on at least, due to the fact that he would be able to survive me for a bit longer than he did. So yeah, not much going on right now. Actually, this is quite a kill heavy game. And to those of you wondering, this is a gold 5 rank game. I just touched gold 4 at one point and then I'll drop back down to gold 5, so my win ratio is not that great, but yeah, I am still a gold 5 player working my way up. It's slow, I know it's slow, but one of the reasons is that I usually pay... Okay, we have some action. I'll talk to you that. Sorry, I'll talk about that later. I just jump back a few seconds. Here Blitzcrank and Tristana gets caught, and I run down to see if I can help Blitzcrank. I'm quite certain that Cassidy won't touch me, so I just go ahead together with Nocturne and we just rape both of them. We see that Shen is coming in. Cassidy jumps over the wall. Good job by him, because although Shen was coming in, he would have been dead if he didn't. And we picked up Alistar. We didn't go for the other kills immediately, but then we see Shen recalling in the brush, and Nocturne just goes in to interrupt him from recalling. He gives up his life here, but yeah, it results in me getting a double kill, getting even more ahead. I am level 14 and the highest level on their team is the solo laner K6 and top. I'm 4 levels above my own lane opponent Kassadin, so yeah, this is quite of the more dominant games. It doesn't really showcase that much skill, but it shows one of the ways that you can dominate your lane opponent even though you are in a counter lane. I think this just goes to show that you shouldn't give up on your lane just because you know you're against a counter. There are, with most champions, some ways that you can build or spec or whatever that makes it so that you can play around being in a counter lane. For me, with Anivia, it's just to go AD reds, building magic resistance and HP from the start. It usually helps out a lot, and you'll be able to still win most of your lanes. I'll speed up again here. Again, just soloing blue. No problem. Getting bot farm. And here we try to see if we can pick and engage. Just due to the fact that we're so strong. You see our Tristana also has 8 kills and Infinity Edge, and her Q is just an immense attack speed steroid, so... Yeah, I'll just go back in this fight and I'll just slow it down for you. As you see here, our Blitzcrank gets caught. What I do is I throw down my ult, I E Ezreal, I know that he will jump so I don't Q him right away. Then I Q, going through 1, 2, 3 enemies. I E again, kill him even though he jumps away. I have my ult up again, just auto-attacking, E-ing, ulting on top of the 2 of them, and they just go down like nothing. When you're in a small passage like this, throwing down your ult on top of the whole team, the damage isn't noticeable at first, but it just wears down on the opponent so hard, and the damage just... Yeah, if you ever played against an Anivia and you watch when you're dead, when you watch how much damage her ult did, most people will see that her her ult is really doing a heck of a lot of damage, though it won't be noticeable. Here Tristana just shot away Kassadin, like Kassadin K6, and this actually results in all three of us dying. Here down goes Nocturne, and here comes Kassadin, clean up crew. Dead Tristana, dead Anivia. Here goes Nasus. He won't die. He won't die in this game, so props to him for not feeding, even though he had a hard time in his lane. I'll just speed this up. I tried to run top to get farm, but I realized that I have to go mid. Being a mid now will result in us having, as Stomo would say, Mexican standoff in a bit. We'll just stand at our tower and we won't be able to really engage. We'll just hope to have them make a mistake jumping under our tower and having me just wave clear, because that is one of the great attributes of Anivia. You can just wave clear so fast with your ult in your Q. Right here we try to see if we can get a cheese pick, and Anivia stun into her ult and E. At this point, on either Kassadin or K6 or Ezreal, they will just shred them down to nothing. This is not the most interesting part, so I'll just speed this up a bit. Yeah, this is the Mexican standoff part that I talked about. It's not that interesting, nothing really happens. But at one point, I think I deal some damage to K6, which means that Blitzcrank will see that as an opportunity to go grab somebody. Yeah, I did it right there. And he grabs, what's he called? He grabs the Alistar. Nocturne sees that as a cue to go in. Good job on his part. My ult just was laid down on top of them all. I cancel it again. My E just executes Kha'Zix right there. And now you can see there on top of my ult, it deals hefty damage. So 4 kills for 1 at this point. Here I see Ezreal use the E, so I'm comfortable just flashing after him, executing him with my E. This is one thing. Whenever you're certain that they won't escape and you know you have enough damage, just throw down your ult and E into it. Don't bother trying to hit your Q, because the damage applied by it won't be as significant, and yeah, this is just one secure way to get a kill if you're certain that they won't escape. This is one of the more stale parts of the game. Right here I see Shen coming down on the map. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to run up to cut him off. I try to get into this brush before he sees me. I won't be able to. I see him fail his dash and I just wall him off. You see how much damage I applied just with my ult and my E. My Q forced his flash, so yeah, that was an easy bait. And this makes it so that he has no flash, enemy team is so squishy, so we're just able to dominate this fight, which will result in the inevitable surrender from the enemy team. You see my E and my ult just shreds Ezreal down right there. Clean my crew. And yeah, this will be game. Enemy team surrenders. Yeah, just to end off this video, I will just say that as Anivia, you shouldn't be afraid to go up against Kassadin. You can try out what I've done, picking AD reds and going with a Chalice of Harmony and a Catalyst early game. I think it would. I think it helps your laning phase quite a bit, and I usually do well against Kassadin. whenever I'm playing Anivia this way. So yeah, this is it from me. Have a nice day.